All right, welcome, you guys. We are talking about the new moon in Leo that is coming up July 24th. And we're going to dive deep into what this new moon means as a collective and as an individual. I will be going through the rising signs. Something I want you guys to keep in mind as I talk through astrology is I am an evolutionary astrologer. That is a little bit different than a traditional astrologer. I see transits as invitations for us to get closer to who we desire to be and who we came here to be. So, if that's something that resonates with you, awesome, stick around. If it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. Speaking of a cup of tea, grab a drink, grab a snack, come hang out. I always say, please listen to the first part of the video. I know it's tempting to jump ahead and just listen to your rising sign, but all of the things that I'm about to discuss is going to lead into what I'm going to share about your rising sign. So hang out, put me in 2 times speed for my TikTok folks. Anyways, I really took some time to settle into this energy, and I don't know if the word's excited, but I felt very ready to share this with you. So ready that I just changed my top and started recording. I was just in a t-shirt, and there's a level of sometimes performance that comes with creating videos and creating content, and in the name of the authentic new moon that this is, I'm just going to sit down and record because that's how I want to do this. So I'm going to honor that. With that being said, if you are interested in getting a reading from me, I have readings available. Eclipse season is coming up in September. So if you want to prepare for that, I have specific eclipse meetings and readings that are available. Also, exciting news, my one-on-one mentorship spots have opened. So if you're looking to dive deeper and work one-on-one with me, that's available. There is a form to fill out that is linked down below in the description if you are wanting to work with me. And what other fun things are going on in the realm of Astraemia? I think that's it. All my offerings are listed below if you're feeling called to work with me deeper. I would love the opportunity to, especially natal chart readings. If you've never had your natal chart read, it's time. It's time to get to know yourself at a deeper level. All right. So, full transparency, I literally just sat here and journaled about this new moon. So if you see me glancing down, it's just these notes that I wrote about this new moon. So let's kind of set the stage for what this new moon is. And I may put the chart to the side. It just depends on how I want to format this video. But this new moon is at 2 degrees of Leo. So the sun just moved into Leo a day or two prior, just depending on the time. And this new moon has a lot of different aspects happening. Okay, so some of the aspects that are happening is that this new moon, so that means the sun and the moon, they are conjunct. They are both at 2 degrees of Leo. New moons are always when the sun is at the same position as the moon is at the same position of the sun. And I just saw 333 on the clock as I'm filming this. So keep that in mind. New moons are always about new starts, new intentions, and really it's like the fertile ground for setting intentions. That is the intention of a full moon, new moon. Gosh, guys, words. Mercury retrogrades aren't hitting. So this new moon is opposing Pluto in Aquarius. Ow. And then there is a trine to Saturn and Neptune that are retrograde in Aries right now. So there's some very interesting aspects that are happening that is bringing this deepening to this new moon. It's almost like the feeling is you can't escape who you're meant to be. And that's what's happening. This new moon is at 2 degrees, like I said, which is ruled by Saturn. It's in the first decan, and Saturn's retrograde. So there's also this deeper connection to not only the trine, but the fact that this first decan of Leo is ruled by Saturn. This is also ruled by the Five of Wands. So if you're familiar with tarot, Five of Wands is kind of the energy that is present with this as well. So there's a lot of different pieces, but as I sat with the energy of this new moon specifically, it's funny, I feel like this hesitation, and that's like a part of it. It's almost like hesitating on sharing truth, the depths, authenticity, because this new moon is bringing into question, who are you? Who are you really? Who are you underneath all those masks? Because when we look at the layers, Leo represents the part of us that wants to be seen on a specific stage, right? Leo is very bright and bold. Leo rules over the sun. The sun is Leo. This is ruling itself in a certain aspect, and this is calling us to really look at the script that we've been handed. And it's almost as though you are getting an opportunity to audit your life to a certain degree. And depending on where you're at in your journey, there may be external circumstances that really allow you to deepen into this audit, or there is, if you're on the path of self-development, you may already be in the space of auditing yourself for this. So what I wrote here is there's something confronting about this new moon. It carries an undercurrent that brings awareness to facades, to old stories, looking to be left behind, grieved, changed. Mercury retrograde invites in this thread of following those stories to the core. So this Mercury retrograde is in Leo. That is happening as well. And so that brings in a whole nother air of energy to this new moon, where our communication realm is also on this internal pathway. Again, Saturn and Neptune are retrograde and Pluto's retrograde. So this to me speaks to the fact that it may be more of an internal pathway that is showing up for us to really follow down the threads that connect to the story that we have of who we are performing as. Because there's this invitation of, why are you performing? Who are you performing for? Is it for you, or is it for the attention of others, for the validation that you receive from others? And that's what Pluto opposing this is really bringing into the forefront. There's an initiation through contrast, right? The fact that Saturn is here suggests tension and challenge, ego, conflict that comes up. This is not the performative Leo. It's almost as though, because whenever I think of Leo energy, I think of theater, I think of performance. And I really see it's like, who are you behind the curtains when you're not performing? Like, who is that person? And there's this need for you to get closer to this. I mean, the true depths of this new moon is allowing yourself to be seen as who you are, truly. And recognizing that actually there are people out there longing to meet the true, authentic version of you. And in that process, that's where we have this Pluto energy, where there may be crumbling of external connections, external validation when you step into the authentic version of you. There's also this shakiness that comes with this that brings in this energy of, I still don't know who I am yet. How can I step forward onto a stage if I don't even know who I am yet? I'm just learning, I'm exploring, right? There's this confrontation with collective pressure or specific systems that feel overpowering in your life. This Pluto retrograde in Aquarius challenges us to hold our center when other things may want to shape us, right? And or maybe it is rocking the boat so that we can shift, that we choose to step into something despite the external circumstances saying, no, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, don't do that. But there's this inner fire that you're learning to follow with this new moon. Okay? Something else that I wrote here that was on the back paper. I called this, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, as I just free flow with this. This is a little bit less structured, which I feel is more my speed. I want to talk about also, before I read this, the fact that we have 4 different planets retrograde here. Again, it's Mercury, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. These retrograde signatures reflect inner calibration, right? So there may be this feeling like, I've already heard other astrologers make this a sort of external thing, and I really don't feel that. It feels more that you're witnessing the external and taking the lesson inside. This is less about performing in your light and more about rediscovering where your light originates. It's like finding that inner resource. What's true within you when you're able to drown out the noise, right? What I wrote here is seeing ground zero as a blessing or a curse, because this really is, with these retrogrades and this, the fact that it's a new moon. New moons, again, are about new starts and a new cycle beginning. It's sort of this ground zero feeling, but it's kind of gives this feeling of like floating in space, because there isn't really ground beneath you yet, because Saturn and Neptune are retrograde. We just started the process of building something entirely new, but now we're reflecting on, okay, we're double checking, like going back to make sure we've cleared out all the things that we need so we can really lean into that inner fire. I wrote, internal forest fire. The ground needs time to regenerate, and there may be outside influences, frustrated, angry at the change in you, but adversity is a fertile ground for growth. This also could be an inner judge. Pluto is starting this fire, inviting the beauty of destruction, allowing false beliefs and ideologies about who you are to crumble. This change is necessary. So I know I kind of like moved all around with that and just the interpretation of this, but really, really like honing in on the fact that the true node of this new moon is to reconnect to your fire, reconnect to that light within you. It reminds me of certain videos that I've seen in the past where people are just spending all their time trying to fan other people's flames or light their fires at the cost of their own. And the truth is, if we're all constantly tending to our own inner flame, then it's easier for us to all be illuminated and to shed light on others. And that's not to say that we shouldn't help each other, but again, it's kind of the idea of you got to put the, oxygen mask on yourself first before you help another person, because what use are you helping others if you can't even breathe? If you can't even shine, if you can't even go down the path of self-discovery, of finding authenticity within yourself. On the other side of this new moon, and just this retrograde cycle, again, this retrograde cycle that we're going to be going through for kind of from summer into fall, it's really bringing the energy back inwards to prepare us for this new self that started to emerge a little bit. It started to come to the surface, but now we're really taking the time to integrate those newer things that have been surfacing so that when we do emerge, it's from a level space and it's from a surety that nobody can question. Your foundation will not falter or crumble when you are in this, right? It feels good. I'm really excited for this new moon. And for some of us, it may feel confronting and a little bit crunchy. Like I can feel that in my heart right now as I lean into that and to shift into other people's perspectives. It may feel a little tough. I heard tough love in my mind, and it's giving yourself that sort of tough love as well. But I want to talk a little bit more about this trine before I jump into the rising signs. This trine to Saturn and Neptune is actually really supportive. And I know this Saturn and Neptune energy that we've had for the last for the last month, 2 months, has been all about really setting foot into a new belief system, into a new iteration of your beliefs, and I heard spirituality. And so this really is leaning on that foundation, that fertile ground that started to bud, and now you're 10. It's almost like you're going through and catching weeds before they can even fully form, right? And this new moon is really having you like plot and plan and be excited for, it feels a lot bigger than just this lunar cycle, this 28 days. It feels like this, what's moving through at this time is going to carry through for a lot longer. This sort of listening to yourself and recognizing how important it is to take care of yourself is the ultimate feeling. Okay. Again, this change is necessary. This change is necessary. And keep an open heart, open mind. Open heart feels more present because this is Leo, rules over the heart. It's like with a new moon, it is the darkest moon. It is the dark moon. It is looking at something just came to mind with that. You know, when you sit in darkness and your eyes wait to adjust and your eyes are able to dilate more to bring in and see things, it's that feeling where I feel as though you are sitting with old versions of you, old beliefs, old stories, old narratives, and you weren't able to see them with such a bright flame. And so it's like, it's almost as though like you were able to like just cover the light a little bit so you can see the shadows more clearly and from a perspective that is not judgmental, that is not angry, that is not vicious, but seeing these different versions of you and why they got you to where you're at and how they got you there. And for some of us, it was through survival. It was through adversity. It was through just getting by, right? And now you're in a space. It feels like this is the opportunity to thank certain parts of yourself for bringing you to where you're at currently, but choosing to let those parts either take a back seat or fully release them. And so in that releasing process, which is interesting because normally new moons are setting intentions, but I feel like there's this release and there is this invitation for you to settle into, now knowing this, now sitting with these parts of myself, where do I choose to move forward? And I feel like it's actually this deeper invitation to move forward with this knowledge of self at a whole different level than you've had before. I really feel like this can bring in some insight you haven't had yet and setting intentions based off of that. One last thing I want to share about this new moon. Again, with this being in Leo, this really does bring in this deeper thread of joy. But what is joy if it's not authentic joy? What is joy if it's a performative joy? And so this really is wanting us to break free of our own shackles, where we stop ourselves from enjoying life, from enjoying pleasure, from allowing our inner child to play. This really is opening us up to allowing ourselves to use creativity as a form of rebellion against all those things that are trying to keep us closed off and keep us small and keep us in the fear cycle. You reclaiming joy as a birthright with this new moon is going to, I just see like a shooting star in my mind. It's just going to propel you forward, knowing that you are inherently worthy of joy, of pleasure, of enjoyment, of allowing yourself to play. Really, really, like as you're like looking at these shadows, see and sit with those parts of you that have shame around enjoying life, have shame around wanting to be seen. So really, really sit with that. Okay? If you've enjoyed what I've shared so far, I would love it if you like the video, comment. If you've made it this far, let me know your rising signs down below. It's interesting to see the different rising signs and people show up and all the different types of y'all. I have a lot of Scorpio risings around me right now. You guys know who you are, which is super cool. So go ahead and comment your rising sign and also subscribe if you're enjoying this content. I share videos pretty consistently now, so if you would like to follow along with that, and let me know other things that you guys want to see from me. I really want to lean into some more educational astrology stuff, so let me know something you would want to learn. Okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the rising signs. All right, Aries risings, as always, I'm saying take everything I shared and imply it tenfold, because this is happening in your 5th house, which is ruled by Leo. So this is your opportunity to reclaim joy, especially joy of the self-expression that doesn't need external validation, that you can literally just be you as you, right? Use creativity as, like I said previously, as a form of rebellion, as a form of choosing what's authentic for you. This is a new moon that is calling you to playful leadership. Can you be seen without control, needing to control the outcome? Can you just have fun? Okay? Taurus risings, this is happening in your 4th house. This is home, family, security. This is allowing you to rebuild a core of how do I want to describe this for y'all? It's rebuilding a core sense of emotional safety that's rooted in your inner light. With the 4th house, it brings in different generational patterns that maybe you've had to perform to a certain level, and almost as though the home and family is the only thing illuminating your life, that has to be your central thing. But let go of those generational expectations around stability or performance. Can your inner child feel safe being bold and breaking free from that sort of, it feels like you're being stifled by certain expectations of family, of how structures are supposed to be. Let yourself explore and play, and there's this deeper invitation of finding inner safety within you. For my Gemini risings, this is happening in your 3rd house of communication. For you guys, this is really allowing you to rewire how you communicate your passion, how you use your words to fuel your fire. It almost feels like there's been a certain level of convincing yourself of other people's narratives, and this is allowing you to allow friction, especially from external things, spark new ways of speaking your truth. It's almost like that adversity that maybe you feel within yourself, if it's you against you or you against the other, whatever that is for you. Allow that to be a building block for you to let your fire shine. For Cancer risings, this is happening in your 2nd house. Yep. I literally was like, is it? So for you, it's clarifying your values by owning what you won't compromise on. This is deeply empowering for you to recognize your worth, your values, what you follow, and using them as new building blocks for your inner fire. Confidence really equals your self-worth. And your self-worth is practiced in daily choices. What are you choosing every day? This new moon really invites illumination to this space. Remember that your inner authority is more important than external validation. You don't need to be accepted or be seen as worthy from other people outside of you. If you're worthy from within, that's all that matters here with this new moon. For my Leo risings, this is happening in your first house. It's right on your ascendant, and this is truly a personal rebirth through pressure and owning your presence, right? Pluto's in opposition with your ascendant, depending on your chart specifically. Pluto's a slow-moving planet. I'm going to preface that. This is kind of ego death versus ego reclamation, right? What identity are you done using, performing, playing? Like, it really is this, who do I want to show up as? This is, you know, that trine to Saturn and Neptune is really a powerful support of spiritual leadership. You're really stepping into a deeper part of yourself and how you show up in your beliefs. And this is, how can you build this new identity with these budding beliefs? It's pretty awesome. Hey, Virgo risings. Me too. Every time I tell you guys, me too. This is 12th house energy. It's in your 12th house. And the 12th house is your subconscious mind. There is a deeper subconscious process that's happening with this new moon for y'all specifically. There's sort of spiritual tension that happens here. Where do you perform healing versus embodying it? So it's almost as though, are you just pretending to like be doing all this spiritual hygiene, or are you actually applying it? You're burning away at unseen expectations that you may not even realize that you've had on yourself, even ones that may be ancestral or other lives. Allowing that, like, I see like a page burning. It's almost as though like you're burning away these old programming. Let yourself take some space with this new moon and let yourself disappear and be reborn. I'm seeing Phoenix energy big time for y'all. Yay. All right, Libra rising. This is happening in your 11th house. This is about community and collective energy. This is realigning yourself with soul-aligned communities and visions. Like, who mirrors your light? And who dims it? You're really becoming clear on the people that you surround yourself with and the type of community you really want to be in. There's this need for you, not need, but invitation for you to step into your role as a creative visionary, not just a people pleaser. Libra risings, I see you. I see through that freaking facade. Just be you. You're like, who am I? You're you. Get a reading from me. I love reading from my Libra rising. Sorry, I just totally plugged myself to you guys, but I feel deeply for the experience of Libra risings. You guys are a cosmic mirror. But again, who fuels you and who drains you? That's going to be your tell for this new moon, and really recognizing you might actually have to create the community that you're looking for. All right. Love you guys. Scorpio risings, this is happening in your 10th house of vocation, career, outer worldly pursuits. It's time to lead with soul, not strategy. You can try so hard to build all the game plans, but genuinely, as you tune into your inner fire, inner flame, and really kindle that, you are going to be a force to be reckoned with. With this Pluto opposition, Pluto in your 4th house, you're being shaped by old power stories. Are you being shaped by old power stories, right? Old ancestral ones, old familial ones. Like, what is happening there? What is happening in, like, tune into your inner child a little bit and see where you're playing into old stories. Are you following the same sort of role of external authority that you had when you were a kid? If that's so, it's time to shed that. You don't need to overprove yourself here either. Your authenticity is your resume. You being fully you is going to get you the job, is going to put you in the limelight, is going to put you where you are desiring to go. Let your desire lead. Okay. Sagittarius risings. This is happening in your 9th house of spirituality, beliefs, higher learning, mentorship. There is a spiritual fire that's being reignited here. You might have a desire to study a little bit more or hone in on something that's been piquing your interest and really diving in. You've been on this path of like really looking at that as well. And I want to invite you guys to think about who told you that your truth was too much. For some of you, I feel some like religious upbringing or certain things being brought up here, or certain beliefs being brought up at this time for you to really look at what do you believe and make a bold declaration of belief for yourself. What do you believe in? Where are you actually allowing yourself to illuminate that light within yourself? For my Capricorn risings, this is happening in your 8th house. This is the house of the occult, the taboo, the hidden. It's the underworld, y'all. This is the darker parts of yourself being highlighted here. Yay! Fun, exciting. This is a death and rebirth of how you share your power, right? Can you be seen in your desires without shame? Are you still judging yourself? Are you still shaming yourself? Where are those shame stories coming from? This new moon invites you to look closer at those and set new intentions of how you're going to navigate that. It's time to trust intimacy again, even when your ego is craving control in that area. There's this level of surrender that's happening for you guys. Ooh, Capricorn rising, surrendering, crazy. You can do it. All right, Aquarius risings. This is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Yay, partnerships, yay. There's some friction here happening. Relationship friction is going to bring you back to you. Who are you in relationships? Who do you want to show up as? Who do you want to be in relationships? If you're in a relationship, are you truly being you? Who do you become in relationships? And is that real? First, sometimes we put on different masks. It's really, for whatever reason, I'm going to settle into your guys' energy a little bit more here. You know, when we do that whole performance thing, when you start dating people or put yourself out there on the market, you kind of play up the best parts of you. In relationship, there is somebody out there, whether you're with them or not, who truly wants to be with you for all of you. So I challenge you guys to really hone in on that part of you, of who you truly wish to be in relationship. You know, power dynamics are on the table right now with this new moon in your 7th house. Where do you give your power away? And can you reclaim it? And in that reclamation, can you be in partnerships and in your power? Woo! Yeah. Comment a lightning bolt down below if you got to this part for my Aquarius risings. I kind of want to tune into your guys' energy specifically. All right, last but not least, my Pisces risings. This new moon is in your 6th house of routines, health, work, structures. This is really, really recognizing that your need to reignite sacred discipline is so important here. What are you doing every day? How can that reignite your fire? Your light is in your daily practice. Like, I really challenge you guys for the next 28 days in this lunar cycle to devote yourself to something that ignites your heart, right? This is a chance to stop self-sabotaging through chaos or avoidance. What would it look like if you were in service to yourself? How would you show up each day? Would you take time in the morning to yourself, journal, set a routine? Would you prioritize your workout routine, how you eat? Again, this is a 6th house. So I'm giving you guys specifically a challenge. The next 28 days until our new moon in Virgo. Time to really focus in on you. Okay? Love you guys. And if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. This is not an easy new moon. It's not. And that is just the nature of astrology. They are invitations for us to get closer to us and to who we are desiring to be and become and to grow and evolve and be bigger and better and bolder. And also to be messy and real and authentic and raw and vulnerable. All the things. All the things. Everything that surfaces is exactly what's needed. So I want to invite you guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my newsletter, use the link in the description below to subscribe to my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House. I will be sending out a specific new moon in Leo newsletter with journal prompts for all the rising signs so you can dive deeper into it. And down below, I'm going to be creating a guide if you want to dive deeper into how to set yourself up for this new moon in Leo. Okay? I love you guys so deeply. Subscribe if you haven't yet already, please. And thanks. All right. I love you guys.